hearing this?
Anybody hear that?
How can we possibly have the slightest idea what to expect?
Well, we're back.
Hold on to your butts.
Welcome to the Jurassic Park Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Jost, and we're here to discuss all things Jurassic, including the movies, TV shows, music, toys, and more. I hope everybody out there had a fantastic Pride Month, and not only is this our final episode of Jurassic June, but it's our final check-in here before Jurassic World Rebirth hits. This is what it's been all leading up to. In episode 420, we focus on the thoughts from around the Jurassic fan community and honestly around the world, the entire world. Just before seeing Jurassic World Rebirth, we are in the final days of what I call the before for so many people around the world. And I just wanted to put together something special to encapsulate this feeling, kind of like a time capsule episode, if you will. I've seen the movie now twice, but I did record my thoughts early on, so you'll hear me just before seeing it for the first time last Monday night. And there's also so many other people from around the world in this episode, and I truly think that this episode shows how much this is a worldwide effort. And for me personally, just goes to show how special this show has become in these moments leading up to the launch of a big movie like this. It really feels special to have so many people reach out, and we are in those final moments, so enjoy it while you can. The movie is almost here, and it really couldn't be more exciting. And don't forget, the final Tales from a Jurassic World is out now on the Tales from a Jurassic World YouTube channel, as well as Tom Jurassic's Instagram. So please go support the incredible work that they've been doing over there. And as always, you can find that final episode here on the podcast feed Tuesday, tomorrow, as of this recording. And just please go support them. It's been an incredible run, 3 seasons now, with some really, really incredible cast and crew led by the one and only Tom Jurassic. They've put together something really incredible and just a fan creation that I think we can all look at for years to come and just say, man, that was really awesome to watch that grow to what it was and to finally see it come to an end. It's really special. So thank you to everybody out there who had an effort in that. And thanks to Tom for letting us play it here on the show each week. So go check it out. And of course, while you're listening to this episode, hit us up on Blue Sky to continue the conversation. And as always, please check out our weekly live streams on YouTube, discussing all of the latest Jurassic news from around the world, Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. EST. I know I didn't get a chance to do it last week, but I was watching Jurassic World Rebirth instead. Now, I think I've shifted my plan, so I should be available this Wednesday. But I also know that probably a lot of people are going to be watching Jurassic World Rebirth. But I'll be there for you. I'll be there when you're all done, and you can come and talk about the movie afterwards. 9 p.m. EST on Wednesday. And please be sure to subscribe to my newsletter for all things Jurassic, other movies, TV shows, my podcasts, and other thoughts and appearances. You can find the link to the newsletter on JurassicParkPodcast.com/newsletter. And also, since this episode is a pre-rebirth thoughts and feelings episode, please remember to give us a call after seeing the movie. It's almost here. Once you're done in that theater, let us know what you think. You can always call our voicemail line at 732-825-7763. Or once you leave that theater, pick up your phone, hit that record button, and send us a voice memo to JurassicParkPod@gmail.com. And let me know all of your thoughts and feelings after seeing Jurassic World Rebirth and taking it all in. I want to hear those initial thoughts, and we're going to put together another massive episode with everybody's feelings. So please do that as soon as you can. But it is finally time, so let's go ahead and dive into our final vibe check here before Jurassic World Rebirth.
Now, what John Hammond and InGen did at Jurassic Park was create genetically engineered theme park monsters, nothing more, nothing less.
This is it, everybody. We are in the final moments of the before. Now, if you've heard me talk about this before on the show, that's because I talk about it a lot, the before. It's this moment in time before we actually know what the final product is going to be. Of course, we've seen a lot from trailers and marketing and different interviews and videos and behind the scenes. There's been a lot revealed, but we are still currently in the before, and the after is rapidly approaching at many different intervals, by the way, with all the different screenings and stuff like that. But the official July 2nd date is rapidly approaching, and the after is just upon us now. And I'm excited. I'm very excited for this movie. I think, I'm extremely hopeful because of the pedigree of everybody involved in this movie. And it's, Gareth Edwards, somebody I really think is excellent at his craft. Somebody I really have a lot of faith in. Rogue One of my favorite movies of all time, really, honestly. And Godzilla being a Godzilla movie that I absolutely, truly love. And just all the other ones are great as well, all of his other films. So you've got David Koepp, and I'm hopeful that he is taking us back to this moment in time from maybe the 90s or so. So I'm excited about those two people right there, and a lot of the cast and other production crew members. But I'm hopeful. I think overall I'm hopeful and I'm excited. But there is a bit of concern there as well, right? I am concerned about the timeline, the restraints, and anything involved with a potential rushed production schedule. So there's a lot of elements like that, canonically speaking, story-wise. I don't know. There's a lot of things that I'm concerned about. And, of course, I'm miffed at the screenings and things like that have been going on. So I am feeling a bit of that weirdness in my stomach at the moment of all of these different things going on at once. And is it rushed? Is it thrown together last minute? I don't really know what's going on with the pace of this marketing and stuff. So I know I'm kind of all over the place with this, kind of state of me, I guess. My state of being at the final moments before Rebirth. But I think the marketing, did a very solid job up front, really teasing this movie in a very great way that I was just applauding them around every turn, that they were doing such a great job at not really revealing much. And then, of course, as predicted, the final few weeks approached and we started to get a little bit too much. And I got to say, a lot of it is still those same moments that I applauded them about before, but now it feels like we're getting the entire river raft sequence, the entire Mosasaurus, Spinosaurus sequence, the entire convenience store, things like that. So I have ended the day here at the same point as we usually do with a lot of Universal movies. It's like, okay, I'm good. I've checked out with a lot of the marketing and a lot of the interviews and stuff, so I don't really want to see anything or hear anything. I'm just ready, at this point. I'm ready to see this movie. It's been odd, I think, this whole production promo period. It's been weird. It's been short, but yet long at the same time. It's been stressful. I think from a content production end, a little behind the scenes, it's been a little stressful at times and confusing in a lot of ways, but the product that I'm seeing from them looks pretty excellent. Everything that I've seen in trailers and stuff so far looks excellent. So I have no issues with any of that. I'm very excited and very hopeful, like I said. I'm just hoping it doesn't feel rushed, as the production felt. I'm hoping the film doesn't have that rushed quality on it. There's some movies that feel like they just kind of jump around from thing to thing and don't really answer a lot. So I hope we get a lot of answers. The Mutadons and the Distortus, things like that. I want answers around them. The dinosaurs dying off. Are they going to answer anything like that? The different dinosaur designs. I'd love to know about those. Like, what's going on there? The research facility of it all, that's been spoken about in the trailers. Is this Jurassic Park era, Jurassic World era? What's going on with the timeline? There's a lot of different questions I have, so I'm hoping I get a lot of those answers. And something I wrote about recently in my newsletter was wanting to feel something. And I hope this movie gives me something to feel in the bottom of my stomach. I hope there's pain and shock and suspense and fear, sadness, one of those things. I want something from this movie, and I said it, a few times recently, but the past three movies have certainly given us elements of those pieces, but not fully, not too exhaustive or anything. Is that a word? It's there's been elements of like pure joy and some sadness a little bit, but like not like that shocking, gut-wrenching feeling that a lot of content I feel like has given us these days, like something like Andor, The Last of Us, different things like that. So I'm hoping that this movie hits us in that really, really impactful way where we feel something. I don't know what it is, but I want to feel it. And like I said before about canonically speaking, I hope we get that kind of like stuff. And I mentioned the timeline as well. I hope this feels like it is placed nicely within the franchise and it feels like it's a part of this franchise and tied to things. I don't know that it will be. I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be. I'm not demanding that it be, but I think if they're going to center it around certain topics or things in a certain timeline, I'd love to have those things canonically fit and be answered with things like Camp Cretaceous or Chaos Theory and the movies, of course. I hope everything just gels and works together nicely. I don't know that it will. It doesn't necessarily need to. I am all for singular stories that don't really pertain to anything else. I am totally fine with that. But I just want to know what's up, with the canon and all of that. And honestly, like a reason for this film to exist in the first place, because it felt like we were going down this Jurassic World road with a lot of those characters. And, we had heard rumors about certain characters from Dominion showing up in, not this, by the way, and don't get your, self excited, but, showing up in future films and storylines being continued. And then that kind of felt like it dropped by the wayside and we ended up here where we are now. And I just want to know why. Like, what is the nugget of a story that, is out there from Kep that needed to be told? Why did this need to be told? I don't want it to really feel like just a cash grab kind of moment. I hope it feels warranted and necessary, I think. So, we're in this new era. Why? Why are we in this new era? What is the goal? What is the ultimate end point? Not that I need an end point of the franchise, but like, where are we going with this movie? What is the goal? I don't know. And also, how do you continue? If this isn't the end point, like, how do you continue from here? Is there a jumping off point? So hopefully, and those are natural questions, right? I mean, those are natural questions that a film should answer, hopefully. I'm also very excited about the score. Taking a little left turn here from story and different elements like that. But the score is something I'm extremely, extremely excited for. Obviously, I've talked plenty about different scores and how much they mean to me. So I'm very much hoping that this score feels like well grounded in the Jurassic universe. I would love ties from the past and especially the Jurassic World era, since we are technically still in that era. I would love to hear moments from those movies, but I'm also looking forward to a lot of the new stuff. Obviously, I mean, I'm expecting this to all be new stuff with exceptions of, Jurassic Park melodies and things. But I'm very excited for the new moments of the score and to hear how they relate to things from the past. And also in relation to the score itself, I hope we get no score. I hope we get no score at times. Rewatching Jurassic Park, there's so many moments with absolutely nothing going on. Silence, trees, bugs, animals in the distance. You hear tires, you hear characters tapping on their laps, you hear just whatever, the waves crashing. I want to hear those moments again. I want that silence away from the score for a little bit. So let's go back to the dinosaurs too, because I did mention the Distortus and the Mutodons, but I'm very, very excited for the mutants of this movie. I can't wait to see how they're created, where they're from, what's their story. I hope we get some of those elements told. Very, very excited for a different version of the hybrid kind of story. Maybe it has nothing to do with hybrids. Maybe it's just a mess up. I still don't really know. I'm excited to really find out where they're going with all of that. I hope it feels massive and scary, and I hope we get some of those really wild features that the toy has shown us. The Mutadons, I think they look really awesome. I'm very, very excited for them. I hope they feel scary as well, and I hope they blend in well to the story, to the other related dinosaurs like velociraptors or atrociraptors or pyroraptors. I hope they all kind of feel like the same and together in that way. But also, I mean, speaking of raptors themselves, like, what is the deal? What's going on with raptors? We've all seen these raptor designs, and then, of course, things changed within the trailers and teasers. So I'm very interested in what's going on with the raptors. What is the deal? Interested to see how they're used and how many are potentially here for how long. So give me some raptors. I need some raptors. I mean, it wouldn't be Jurassic without them. And the novels, the novels have been really teased a lot in the marketing and talking about the river raft sequence, but is there more? I want to know, are there more moments from that? And I'm excited to see that. So hopefully we do get some more. Shout out to Ben and with the awesome episode that him, Tom, and Simon did together, talking about a lot of those moments. I want to see more moments from the novels explored. So hopefully we get there. And returning characters. I want to see, personally, I do want to see returning characters. I've talked about it a lot. I want to see a Dr. Wu. If we're in this 17-year time frame, dating back to, I guess, the Jurassic World era, wouldn't we see Dr. Wu? Even if it was Jurassic Park era, wouldn't we see him at the creation, at the dawn of something? The rebirth? I don't know. You would think you would see somebody like Dr. Wu, or at least a reference or something. For years I've been begging for like a de-aged sequence, but we haven't really gotten there. So I'd love a Dr. Wu. I'd love, I don't expect we'd ever get something like a Hammond or Lockwood or anything like that, but maybe, you never know. But anybody, I'd really take anybody. A Charlotte, Charlotte's maybe, I don't know. I forget what her timeline was, but, I want to see somebody return in some fashion. And Dr. Wu's really the guy. I mean, there's probably some others I could pick from, but I'd really love to see Dr. Wu return. Another thing that I really hope from this movie is I hope it's family friendly. I hope that I can take my kids to see it, or at least my son, who's a little bit older, who could probably experience it better than my daughter. But like, I hope it's family friendly and not as, crazy gory or anything like that. I really hope it's not just too far afield from where we started. I know there was a lot of talk from Gareth Edwards about the horror. And, rewatching Jurassic Park, there's really not a lot of horror. There's like scary moments and some jump scares, but there's not really horror. So I'm hoping we don't go too far down the rabbit hole there. But I'm sure I've missed a lot. I did write a lot of that stuff down as, little checkpoints and things for me to hit there. But overall, I am just ready. I'm ready to see this movie. I'm ready to have all of those answers or all those questions answered and just to see where we end up. And I'm ready to talk to you all later on in the after when we get there. So hopefully we like this movie. Hopefully we're all into it and we enjoy it and we can all come back here later and give our thoughts and feelings after the movie. And hopefully we sit here and we say, man, that was an excellent movie. I loved it from start to finish. And who am I kidding? I've loved everything that they've created. I've loved every movie that they've released. Jurassic Park 3 took me a long time to get there, but I do love that movie. But I loved all the World era movies, and I'm sure I will, love this one just as much.
Hi, it's Chris from the UK here. I'm the Jurassic Artist on Instagram and all the other socials. I am excited for Rebirth to come out. There's lots of different things I'm kind of expecting. I'm glad to see new characters and a new story and get away from, as much as I like the characters, get away from the ones we already know. I'd be happy if there's a little cameo, but yeah, new characters I'm excited for. I hope that the dinosaurs haven't been killed off worldwide. I don't mind it being scaled back, but I still want to see them there. I like to think that they'll still be in Biosyn Valley, and we've got Rexy somewhere. And yeah, I'm happy to see new dinosaurs. I'm hopeful that the new island will fit into the franchise well, and yeah, can't wait. I'll be seeing it on Wednesday. I know some people have seen it already, but yeah, I cannot wait. Bye.
Hey Brad, Chris from Canada here. So last spring when they announced that David Koepp was coming back to write this, I was extremely excited and surprised. I know you love it, but I really disliked Dominion. I thought it misunderstood Jurassic Park, or at least the first three movies, on a fundamental filmmaking and storytelling level. Fallen Kingdom is the same, except for I thought it actually had solid filmmaking and was a solid dinosaur summer tentpole movie on its own terms, but it was a bad Jurassic Park movie. Jurassic World I like quite a bit, also not a good Jurassic Park sequel. So this is like, okay, let's like make Jurassic Park 4 real. I never felt like we got an actual sequel to Jurassic Park 3. So David Koepp is like, this is the opportunity for that. Funnily enough, my dream director for a Jurassic Park sequel was Gareth Edwards. As soon as I had seen Godzilla, 11 years ago in the theater, even in the opening sequence of that movie, it was abundantly clear that this guy wore his Jurassic Park influences on his sleeve. Perfect choice for a director for the series. And his direction looks great, and by all accounts it is. Then the first trailer comes out, and I'm a little bit nervous, because it doesn't feel like a Jurassic Park movie. It feels like a Jurassic World movie with some really good filmmaking. And I know it's a Jurassic World movie, but, the Rebirth initiative, like they keep hammering in, we're going back to what made Jurassic Park special. They are making it clear, as clear as they can say without throwing Trevorrow under the bus. This is a course correction. And then trailer 2 comes out, and it's quite a bit better. But it still doesn't quite feel like Jurassic Park. Then the first reactions come in. No, firstly, Scarlett Johansson, great actress. Mahershala Ali, great actor. Rupert Friend, dependable, really good character actor. Jonathan Bailey, I haven't seen a lot of his work, but he looks like he's doing a great job, and I liked him in Wicked quite a bit. But first reactions come in, and without spoiling anything, because I don't know what happens in the movie, I just have a vague idea based on first reactions, that this isn't really a Jurassic Park movie. It feels closer to Jurassic Park than the last three movies did. It sounds like it has better writing by significant amount, like at least in terms of dialogue, than the last three movies did. More tension. That's all great. We're just going forward, and we're going to introduce these characters that we're probably going to see in many movies in the future, and just kind of reset the tone to feel like, it's a little more grounded than what happened in the last three movies. And it's like, that's great. So I'm simultaneously grateful that this is going to finally feel like a sequel to Jurassic Park 4, at least in terms of like, I believe these characters can coexist with the characters in the first three Jurassic Park movies. But I'm a little disappointed that we're probably not going to get a scene like that dinner scene in Jurassic Park 1. Or, even just kind of the shop talk and the, garage in the Lost World and stuff like that. Like I'm going to miss that. And I don't think we're going to get a ton of that, but we'll see. So also, they keep saying Jonathan Bailey's character has a history with Alan Grant, in the marketing or whatever. I think that's also to leave the door open to not have too convoluted of a connection between our new cast and the legacy cast. And I suspect that in the next movie, we will be seeing some legacy characters return, probably Alan Grant. We will probably see the return of Owen and Claire, and they'll probably try to marry these franchises back together. Like the World and the Park and the Rebirth cast into a more tonally cohesive kind of approach going forward. So I think that's where we're heading. Sorry that this took 5 minutes, but those are my thoughts on Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I am a little apprehensive after the first reactions. So thanks, Brad. Bye.
What I'm looking forward on Jurassic World Rebirth is the T-Rex river raft scene and I think it's going to be an awesome film, and it's going to top all other Jurassic Park films.
Hey there, Muzammil here, giving my Jurassic World Rebirth pre-movie thoughts. Currently, I've just been living in that surreal kind of land. The fact that we are getting a new movie in a relatively short time, and I'm feeling good about it. The trailers that I've seen and the footage that I've seen, it looks to be visually stunning. The cast is great. Gareth Edwards looks to be cooking for this one, and I'm really excited for that. And regarding the controversies around the mutations, I still think that it fits in line with Michael Crichton's kind of work. And not only is this franchise involving dinosaurs, but it's also about the manipulation of genetic power. And I think it still holds after all this time. Besides that, my main concern is probably, will they retcon anything? I know David Koepp was saying that there weren't going to be, but I'm kind of concerned of how are they going to acknowledge the world movies, because they are kind of leaning more into the original trilogy, especially the first movie. So I'm just curious how they're going to acknowledge what has recently happened. So if things can, be acknowledged amicably, personally, I would be okay with that. So whatever this new era kind of holds, I am cautiously excited, cautiously optimistic, and I look forward to seeing the movie very soon.
Hey y'all, it's Natalie here calling in just to kind of give my predictions, thoughts for Jurassic World Rebirth. My first one was, it feels so rushed. It feels like they announced it, roughly a year ago that they were starting production. They were shooting July through, December, and then they were editing, and now we have a movie. Time doesn't move that fast for quality movies, in my opinion, for movies, so I am a bit concerned, but Gareth Edwards directed what I consider to be the greatest Star Wars movie of all time, and he is a fan, so I trust him. I also trust Scarlett's not going to want to do a bad Jurassic movie, especially since she herself is a fan. So these are all positives. I love that they chose, I'm going to say his name wrong, Desplat? I don't know how to say it. I love his work in The Imitation Game and some of his other scores, Harry Potter and things. So I'm sure he's going to do a phenomenal job with the Williams score. I don't know if he's going to put in any Giacchino themes as well and kind of merge them all together, but I'm very excited for what he will do with this franchise. And I have a prediction, just because I've been studying every single piece of footage or photos or articles about this movie every time it comes out. I have a prediction that the stuff with the mosasaur and the boat is going to happen first, and then the stuff on the island is going to happen second. And the reason I think that is only because of Scarlett's wardrobe changes. And what's on her costume and what isn't on her costume in the two, sections. So that's what I'm predicting. Who knows if I'm correct? But that's that. In terms of things I'm looking forward to, I am living to see the Rex and the raft scene. Obviously, it's the Delgado family and not Grant and Lex and Tim. But that was something that was in the book that I wished it could have been in the real movie. And it wasn't. So I'm glad that we get that opportunity. And then I'm also just excited to see Dolores. I actually met her at Universal Studios last week, and she's adorable. So I'm super curious to see how she fits into the whole storyline. And also just super excited for Latinos in Jurassic. I mean, we don't have many. We had Daniela, and we have Rainey in Chaos Theory and Camp Cretaceous. But in terms of, regular Latino representation, and Beatriz for also Camp Cretaceous, that's it. We don't have any Latinos. So to have a whole family of them means so much to me because I am a Latino and I love seeing more representation in the franchises that I love. So I've probably meandered on quite a bit in this, but I am so excited. I can't wait to see the movie and see what everyone thinks about it and that we can talk about. And also just, we've got a new Jurassic movie for the first time since Dominion, and it's been, 3 years or so? So it's high time we get a new one, and I am here for it.
Hi Brad, I'm Dean, a Jurassic fan from New Zealand. Love the podcast. I've been listening to it for a few years now. I'm just going to go over my top excitements for Jurassic World Rebirth. First of all is definitely the T-Rex river raft scene. It's from the novel, the original novel, and it's been in some Universal rides. But now it's finally in a Jurassic movie, which I can't wait to see. The T-Rex in that scene, love the new design, looks so cool. With the color design is super nice. It's a bit more of the bulkier kind of T-Rex. Also very excited to see the Spinosaurus return after Jurassic Park 3. Well, actually 3 Spinosauruses. It's cool. It's going to be cool to see these more aquatic-like Spinosauruses. In more fully in the water and in the ocean. In Jurassic Park 3 we saw the Spinosaurus, but it was more of like a land dinosaur. But these ones, they're really aquatic animals. So I can't wait for that. Also excited for the other new designs of the dinosaurs, like the Dilophosaurus is back. I hope this time it gets a good amount of screen time. A little bit better than the other movies, hopefully. Loving the new raptor designs. Very similar to Jurassic Park 3, which is my favorite Velociraptor design. Got the Titanosaurus for the first time in the franchise. That's cool that we see that new sauropod join the Jurassic franchise. The Quetzalcoatlus is back from Dominion, but a very new, very different design, which I love this design too. It looks really cool. Also loving the character costume designs. They look so cool. So excited for the new score to come out and give that a good listen. Thanks for the podcast. Really enjoy it.
Hi everybody, it's James from Jurassic Unicast. It's been a while since I've left a comment. And Jurassic World Rebirth, can't wait. It's going to be a good one. I just have a positive vibe with this. And I don't know where my confidence has come from, especially based on the last movie, which I wasn't a huge fan of at all. I felt let down by the last film. I remember coming out of the theatre and me and Steve just looked at each other in the theatre and was just like, what the hell was that? But I feel like there's just something about this that I know I'm going to like. I mean, I don't think it's going to be perfect by any means, and I do think there's going to be elements that I wish they'd delved into a little bit more, and there's probably some character development I'm probably going to wish that they, gave us a bit more of. But in terms of pure, cinematic excitement and on the edge of your seat, I feel like this is going to deliver. I really, really do. The only thing I've got worries about is how much this marketing is absolutely pumping out the spoilers of this film. I feel like I remember you saying, Brad, about the Fallen Kingdom spoiled quite a bit for you before you even went and saw the movie. That's the only fear for me. I mean, I've somehow managed to avoid everything past that second trailer. I watched the second one. We even did a reaction to it on our YouTube, Jurassic Unicast YouTube channel. So, a little plug there, sorry. So we did do a reaction video for it, and I've not watched anything else since. I've actually avoided it, other than people's thumbnail spoilers, which people seem to love to do. They seem to love to post a thumbnail spoiler, which is not great for people trying to avoid stuff. However, you can't help it sometimes. But yeah, no, the hype is there. I've seen a few of the people's reviews, the ones that have seen the film, and it seems to be overall positive, which I'm really, really happy about, because I remember when Dominion first came out, we heard about the bad reviews like straight away, and we were on such Jurassic rose-tinted glasses. We was like, nah, there's just people that don't like Jurassic. They're just not fans of it, and you know what I mean, blah blah blah. So, but this one does seem to have a different vibe. It seems to be quite popular, and so far it seems to be more good than bad from what I've seen on my algorithm. Of course, that we don't have control over that, but for me, like, that as long as this movie is better than Dominion and is better than Fallen Kingdom and is more closer to Jurassic World level in terms of production and, you know, the arc of the movie, the start, the middle, the end, and it feels like it could survive on its own, and you go for a ride. You go in the cinema, you go on you switch off from reality, and you're just involved in this movie for this whole time. And then you come out and you think, wow, that was actually really good. And I like the way the direction it's gone. And Gareth Edwards' cinematography and all that sort of stuff looks absolutely unreal. So I just can't wait to see this on the big screen. I've booked the tickets for the 4DX showing, which is the moving seats one, because obviously it's not an IMAX. So I don't know if you guys have that in the States, but over here we have a 4DX cinema, which is, I can't wait to see that river scene in and be chucked about all over the place, because I think it's just going to be so immersive. So yeah, for me, I'm really excited, can't wait, and I hope everyone else is on the same hype train. Only one thing left to say from me: life will find a way. Bye bye. See you on the other side.
Hey, brother man, this is Justice Steele calling from Mississippi, and just wanted to give my final thoughts on Jurassic Park Rebirth before it releases. Honestly, I've only watched the first trailer on purpose because I've seen so many clips getting posted, and I just really want to go in as blind as possible. But from what little I have seen, especially with the Spinosaurus returning, getting 3 of them, the Mosasaur, the new dinosaurs, I'm actually very excited. I have really wanted them to delve into the deformed dinosaurs route, because obviously if you're going to do DNA sequencing and all that, you're going to have some mistakes. So it's finally really cool to be able to see those mistakes and see what horror they can really bring, and hopefully some very scary moments like in the original. But overall, I'm very excited, and I can't wait to go see the film. And I hope everybody has a good time overall. Thank you for your time, and you have a blessed day.
Hey, Brad. This is Matt Hewell from Donna Park Media. It's 1 week away from Rebirth, and I am so stoked. I got my ticket the first day that it was available to get. The first trailer just got me so hooked, and every trailer since has. I've been trying to stay away from the spoiler realm, which has been a bit difficult, but I've actually been watching all the Jurassic Parks in order, and I've sort of fallen back in love with the original 2, and, you know, what really got me into Jurassic Park, and that was the horror element. And I really do feel like this new film with Kep and Edwards at the helm will really deliver that original Jurassic Park feel. And I could just sense that. I could sense that in Gareth Edwards. I could sense that in the cast. Of course, in David Kep. And I'm so glad and stoked that Steven Spielberg apparently co-wrote some of this, or had some input at all. So if you got Steven Spielberg in there, you already know that life will find a way.
I'm not a hard fan to please. I don't have a checklist of a bunch of things you need to have, but there are 2 things that you need to have, in my opinion, to have a good Jurassic film. And one is to use the majority animatronics and puppetry for your dinosaurs. And then 2, you need to have a storm. You need to have lightning. You need to have rain. You need to have some extended sequence in a storm. And Rebirth has none of those. So I am out. I do not think it looks like a solid entry into the Jurassic franchise. and I am disappointed. Shame on you, Gareth Edwards.
I got great feelings about Jurassic World Rebirth, and I have a feeling that it's going to be the best movie in history.
Hello, this is Jay Malone, and I just want to share, I am so excited for the release of Rebirth. While I've enjoyed the past 3 Jurassic World films, there's something about this that has a very classic Jurassic feel from the way that the toys are being sold, as well as the way that the marketing's going, and it really, to me, does feel like a Jurassic Park 4, which really excites me super deep down. Yeah, I can't wait for Rebirth.
Yes, hi. My name is Alfonso, and I just felt to leave a voicemail message to your podcast. This is the first time me calling in. So I just want to kind of leave my thoughts for Jurassic World Rebirth. Kind of backtrack. Jurassic Park is a favorite fandom of mine. It's kind of behind Halloween with Michael Myers. That's a different discussion for a different day for another podcast. But regarding Jurassic World Rebirth, I think the Jurassic World trilogy was controversial in its decision making and what it added to the lore of Michael Crichton's work. I adored both novels by Crichton. He did a phenomenal job. I'm kind of iffy about what this entry is going to do, but one of my biggest concerns is continuity, because based on the trailers that I've seen, the lab that is featured in Jurassic World Rebirth, or that's shown on this mysterious new island, which might be Site A or C, which was a scrapped idea, I know, around the time Jurassic Park 3 came out, Site C. It looks too futuristic. So, if we're talking about going by the film canon, InGen, built their facilities in Isla Sorna and Isla Nublar in the 1980s, late 80s at best. It looks too futuristic, too modern. And if they're going to go the route saying that this was the most important island, I don't like the fact of what they might do in trying to change how I'll see the original Jurassic Park film. I think it's very controversial, as well as not only the aesthetics of the lab, but also the idea of, okay, there's this other island that all of a sudden, decades later, came out of nowhere. And if we're going to go by the canon logic, so John Hammond and InGen didn't think to put down this Rancor-style abomination that's going to be featured in the film, and other experiments. I'm sorry, I just can't. If they're going to make me if they're going to try to villainize Richard Attenborough's John Hammond, I don't look forward to it. I mean, I'm going to watch it, but I am not going to probably like what they're going to do regarding recontextualizing InGen and Jurassic Park. Thank you.
Hey, this is Scott from Tennessee. I guess my final thoughts before seeing the movie. I am cautiously optimistic about it. The first trailer came out and I was very negative on it. And then with every trailer since then, I've kind of let my guard down and gotten a little more and more excited about it. At this point, some of the reviews have come out, and I am just hoping for it to be better than Dominion, which broke my heart. And that's kind of my final thoughts going into it. I hope to see a little more, some scarier scenes where the dinosaurs just aren't, friends and with the main characters, and a little hand doesn't stop them from attacking them. So I'm just looking forward to something different than what we've gotten over the past 3 movies. So anyways, cautiously optimistic. Hopefully it goes well, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Hi Brad, this is Michael here in Ireland, big fan of the Jurassic Park Podcast, and I want to say a big hello to all the Jurassic fans around the world. I'm feeling that mix of excitement and cautious optimism ahead of Jurassic World Rebirth. The second I heard David Koepp, writer of the original Jurassic Park, was back, I got hyped. The cast looks great, the dinosaurs look terrifying in all the right ways, and from what I've seen so far, it feels promising. But I'm holding back for now. No more trailers, no more sneak peeks. My tickets are booked for Wednesday and I'm ready to go in as fresh as possible. Let's hope this one roars.
Hey everybody, it's Karen. I am so excited to be calling into the podcast today. I have followed the podcast and the YouTube channel with all the various releases since Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion. But for Rebirth, I actually am going in completely blind. I have not seen any of the trailers, anything that's on my algorithm. I've been swiping really fast past. I know, which actors are in it and like which scenes are kind of anticipated. I know when I saw Godzilla, the 2014 version, I really liked that intro sequence. And so I'm interested to see how that director brings it back into this new Rebirth. But the most important thing about Rebirth coming out is it's the first time that I get to see it with my kiddo. We've been really lucky over the past 2.5 years. We had some boys come into our lives, and they've even got some Jurassic Park names. We've got an Alan and a John in our household. And the really cool thing is that we have stayed blind from the trailers. We haven't watched them. So what do you think is going to happen in the new Jurassic?
I think there's gonna be new dinosaurs.
Ooh, like ones we haven't seen?
Yeah.
Okay. And what are you most excited about seeing the movie?
Seeing it on a big screen and in theaters.
Oh my gosh, with a big popcorn?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So we are just super excited. This is more meaningful for me to be on this parenting side and taking my kiddo, and we both have no idea what's going to happen. So stay tuned for our part 2 and our thoughts on the movie in a couple of days. Say bye.
Bye.
Mr. Jurassic Park Podcast. Hope everything is well this weekend. Hey, this is Mike over here, Pittsburgh area. Let's talk Jurassic World Rebirth. Thoughts before seeing the movie. Highly anticipated. Really have high hopes for this one. I hope they don't let me down. Jurassic World Trilogy, as we all know, while it did sell tickets, made a ton of money, not necessarily the best writing out there. So I'm hoping this one has more, more to it. Make it make sense. There are a lot of plot holes in the last trilogy, not necessarily a fan of that. However, what the trailers have shown so far is what we want. More dinosaurs, more exciting scenes, more action. That river sequence looks absolutely stunning. I like that. I like what we're seeing with the monsters, the hybrids again. That's fine. It just keeps it exciting. But we just need to really tie up some of those plot holes. Want it to make more sense as it goes. Be a lot of babbling. I apologize for that. Maybe you can find something to use in this. Maybe not. No offense taken. But in regards to Rebirth, I really have high hopes that it will do better in my mind than the last trilogy did. Dominion and Fallen Kingdom were absolute low points for the franchise. So it's not saying much. The bar isn't very high for Rebirth to do better, but I'm hoping it falls somewhere between Jurassic World and Jurassic Park 3. That's kind of where I hope it lands. In my personal opinion, Jurassic Park and The Lost World are 1 and 2 for sure. Interchangeable Jurassic World and JP3. Whether that's for nostalgia purposes or what, I'm not sure, but those first two are perfect almost. Damn near perfect. So let's hope for that. I guess when it comes to the story writing, whether it be a miracle drug that can save the human race, how can we stop the starvation? Why are we, weaponizing hybrids? I don't like that. That's the only thing. I think we're on a path that's going to lead toward more confusion. I'm not necessarily on board with that. It's almost like they're trying to make Dino Riders into a movie, which sounds cool, but again, Dino Riders is not Jurassic Park. So let's get back to where we need to be, which I think should be the source material. Now, hopefully with this film and its success, it seems to have taken on a darker tone. It seems to be like it might be a little more on the scary side, maybe some gory scenes, pushing that PG-13 rating. All on board for that. I was there when the original came out, saw it at 5, kind of grew up with the, hey, this is Mike from Pittsburgh, continuing the incoherent babbling. So just to finish my thought there. So we grew up with the franchise. We've seen where it went. I think we need to get back for the source material. Excited to see where this goes. Apparently this will be a new trilogy. Not sure what they can do with the story beyond World War III or IV with dinosaurs, so not necessarily fond of that. But what they have done correct so far is they've given us something else to stretch for the Netflix show, Camp Cretaceous, Chaos Theory, to connect to, and those have been fantastic canonical shows. I think those are what we need more of. As long as these movies are being made, that means we're going to continue getting awesome toys. Absolutely on board with that. While I would like to think this movie is going to be a success, I want it to be really good. Might not get there in terms of story writing, but what we're going to see is going to be visually spectacular. Thumbs up for that. The only thing I would say that I wish they would get back to with the Jurassic franchise itself, we've done the sequels, we've done new ideas, all that. Rebirth, maybe we need the reboot. Maybe we are on the path to where we need to be, getting it to be a more mature rating with these movies. I think maybe it's time we can go back to the source material. Let's get something as perfect as the source material into the hands of someone like Ridley Scott. Let's see what that Jurassic Park looks like. Let's see what the Lost World novelization movie looks like. Let's see what that novel translates to film. You know, I think we're at the point now where we can do stuff like that. The success of the Alien and the Predator franchises being mature audiences, and with the new upcoming, Badlands, and the new Alien show on FX, like, there's an audience for that. It will sell, I think. Maybe we can explore that. But again, in terms of Rebirth, really high hopes that it does better than the Jurassic World franchise as a whole. Thanks so much.
Hello, Brad. Hello, fellow Jurassic fans. This is Steve Jedi Jarvo speaking. Where do I start? I've took quite a few attempts to do a voice message. I either keep waffling on or going on too long and jumping from different subjects, but we'll try and get it condensed and do the best I can. As this voice message is for Rebirth, but just wanted to briefly mention, Brad, I want to thank you so much for your podcast. It's something that I've always do enjoy each and every week. It gets me through bad days that I have and difficulties, and like when you put a new episode up on the podcast, when I see it pop up on my Spotify, it fills me with joy and happiness, and it's like I can't wait to listen to it as soon as possible. And Jurassic, I went to say Star Wars then, because obviously Star Wars is another thing that I love and enjoy. I need to do a voice message for the Forcecast. But yeah, I was going to say it again. Jurassic in general is the podcast, your podcast, and Jurassic in general is my happy place. I've always loved Jurassic Park. I originally first watched all 3 films on VHS when I was young. I used to love watching them all the time. My love for JP3 has grown over the years. yeah, and I just love all the old connections to Jurassic Park, InGen, Site B, Sauna, on both films, Lost World and JP3. As you know, Brad, from the Wednesday night live streams, that mentioned that I love connections to old facilities and old things. And that's what I loved in Jurassic World. So like celebrating its 10th anniversary is crazy how quick that's gone. That feels like just last week. Like where's the time gone? Like seeing the old visitor centre and the jeeps in Jurassic World was amazing. Seeing that little clip of the visitor jeep, or the visitor like car in Fallen Kingdom was amazing, and like a nice little connection to the original. What I also like in Fallen Kingdom is when Claire and Eline first meet, and Eline says to Claire, this is where it all began, before Sauna, the island, Jurassic Park, all of it. And hearing all that, and when he's mentioned the first DNA from Amber, and it's like, oh yes, I love hearing all those things. And then going on to Rebirth now, that's what I'm looking forward to in Rebirth, is seeing the connections to the old facility when Scarlett Johansson says in the trailer, like this island was the research facility for the original Jurassic Park. It's like, oh, that's amazing. So and then as it was InGen there, like we had no idea about this original. We had no idea about this island, and it was like with Fallen Kingdom, like that scene of Eline and Claire, when Eline said that to Claire, like we didn't know about that until the film. And it's like with Rebirth now, it's like, this island, how come we never knew about this island? So it's going to be interesting to get more when the film comes out. So yeah, I think that's it. I think I've done quite well. Love the Rex. The Rex looks really good. Looks beautiful. The quality of the Rex reminds me a lot of the Buck and Doe from the Lost World. It'd be good to see the river raft scene from the novel on the big screen. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more to that. Hopefully we haven't seen all of that in the trailer, in the clips that they've brought out. Tried to stay away from a few recent clips to not keep getting spoiled. But yes, thank you, Brad. Thank you for this. Looking forward to Rebirth. Stay safe, stay Jurassic, and take care. Bye. Hello, Brad. It's Steve again, Steve Jedi Java. I just listened to episode 419 and just wanted to make another voice message to say thank you and appreciate what you've done on there. I really enjoyed listening to the river raft sequence that you've done, the audio drama. Loved the sound effects and it was really good the way you've done it. It made me laugh, that scene where Lex was shouting. That was really funny. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head what it was now. I'd need to go back to it, but it was funny. But yeah, really enjoyed that. Just wanted to just say personally that I enjoyed that. As you mentioned towards the end of the episode, it would be good to do it'd be good to do perhaps a few episodes of going through the novel, I'm starting to listen to the audio books of the novel, because when I was younger, I didn't do much reading, so didn't really go through the novels that much. Like, I know little parts, but not the whole of it. So I'm needing to go through the novel again, as in like listening to the audiobooks. So that was good. And it was really nice listening to then Tom and Ben and was it, Simon, like afterwards, listening to their discussion was interesting. That was interesting what Tom said about Henry Loomis having a connection to Alan Grant. I never knew that too. That was amazing. That's really good if to be able to see that and see how that plans out. That's amazing. There was something else too. Oh yeah, about the I think about the connections to the island with the old facilities. I would say that because I originally thought that it would be Jurassic Park kind of before Sauna and Nublar. I hope it is, but I think now after listening to the episode, I think it is World Era. So like, I think from like, was it like 2002, 3, perhaps just after Jurassic Park 3. I reckon it's around about that time that I reckon this island was before Sauna and Nublar, and then it was abandoned because we got the old gates there, with like the old fencing. With the 10,000 volts. So you got that, and then like those scenes where like it looks old and like abandoned. With like the raptor like inside the containment thing, and then I think then when Masrani took over later, they then went back to the island and started it all back up, and then as we saw in the trailer, it's all new and shiny. So I think that's what it is. I reckon that's the case. But yeah, I just wanted to do another separate message to say thank you and to show my appreciation. What I also loved, Brad, was that after you'd done the audio drama, when you went on to the discussion that the others had, that you used the song from the JP3 track. You used that track in the album of the Brontosaurus on the bank, and that music is so beautiful. There's certain songs in the Jurassic albums, like the Jurassic Park albums, like there's ones in, like for instance, there's one in Jurassic Park, A Tree for My Bed, and that is beautiful as well. Like just the tune and the sound, it really hits me emotionally, and that's what it did with the one from JP3, like Brontosaurus on the bank. So that was beautiful. And then it was funny at the end when you used the song from JP3 when Alan and Billy are walking through the pub. So yeah, just little things like that. So I appreciate all that you do, Brad. Thank you so much. Always love the tracks from Lost World as well. So stay safe, stay Jurassic, and take care. Bye.
Life will not be contained. Life breaks free, it expands to new territories, and crashes through barriers painfully, maybe even dangerously, but, well, there it is. There it is. I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
that'll do it for another episode of the Jurassic Park Podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you for listening and for sharing in our love of the Jurassic franchise. I think this episode really shows that there are currently some highs, lots of highs, and some lows within our final vibes check. You know, there's a bit of apprehension and hesitation, some shame as well, but also complete hope and the expectation of excellence. So I think this is going to be one that's going to be extremely exciting to talk about after the fact, and I cannot wait to start that conversation very, very soon. But this episode goes out to each and every one of you. Thank you so much. A huge shout out goes out to Chris K, to Chris W, to Carson, Muzamil, Natalie, Dean, James, Justice, Matt, Jay Malone, Alfonso, Scott, Michael, Karen, Alan, John, Mike, Steve, and there were a few others. I did not catch your name, or I don't think you said them, but I appreciate you all so much. You all came together to deliver your final thoughts and make this episode completely possible, and I'm truly thankful for that. You know, as this episode shows, we are out there broadcasting across not only the U.S., but Canada, New Zealand, the UK, Ireland. I don't know, maybe I missed some in there as well, but there's also 70 other plus countries that we are in currently. So we appreciate anybody who takes just a moment out of their day in this this crazy place that we call home here on Earth. I love you all, and I appreciate you all for tuning in, no matter where you come from and who you are. And, you know, however old you are as a Jurassic fan, however long you've been following, it really means a lot to have you listening here. But as always, a huge thank you goes out to our podcast host, Podomatic, for giving us a place to upload the podcast each and every week. Everybody out there, please just know that you matter. Stay safe, be kind, fight for representation, change, and equality in the Jurassic franchise. But more importantly, outside of it, in the real world. It's especially needed these days. Let's make sure to make this world a better place. Happy Pride Month. Happy Jurassic June. I'm going to go ahead and hand things off to myself for the outro. Take it away.
Saddle up, let's get this movable feast underway.
Continue the conversation with us on Threads and Instagram. Watch our content on TikTok and YouTube. Find us on the web at JurassicParkPodcast.com. You'll find today's episode show notes, articles, contributor bios, and so much more. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, our website, and wherever else podcasts are found. So please be sure to follow along and share with your friends, family, and fellow Jurassic fans. If you haven't already, please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We will read your Apple reviews at the end of most episodes, so be sure to spare no expense. Don't miss our Wednesday night live streams, toy hunts, reviews, in-depth bonus content, gameplay, event and theme park coverage on our YouTube channel. If you want to get a hold of us or participate in the Jurassic Mailbag, you can fill out the contact form on our website or send emails and MP3s to JurassicParkPod@gmail.com. Feel free to call our voicemail line at any time to leave us a message or just to say hi. That number is 732-825-7763. Thank you so much for listening, and as always, enjoy.